Everyone, I hope you're having an amazing day. Welcome to another episode of 10 p.m. University. So today we're going to talk about the benefits of drinking coffee. Everyone knows about coffee, right? Most of us drink coffee for in the morning or afternoon, whenever it is. And there are coffees of different kinds. We have flat white, we have cappuccino, we have espresso, we have mocha, we have hazelnut latte, vanilla latte, caramel latte, espresso, long black, short black, you name it. There are tons of it, right? There are a lot of different flavors and varieties and right. So what we're going to do today, we're going to talk about the history of a coffee. I'm going to take you back in time, and then we're going to talk about different types of coffee beans. You'll be surprised to know some of the common misconceptions, and we're going to talk about the health benefits, right? That's pretty straightforward. Cool. Let's dive in. First of all, the history of coffee, right? History of coffee, it dates back to 15th century. So there is a kind of debate. Some say it's discovered in Ethiopia first, or some say it's discovered in Yemen first. So according to legend, right, there was a guy called Kaldi. He was a goat herder. So some say he discovered the coffee beans first. So when he noticed this goat eating a berry, and that berry has so much of impact on the goat that goat didn't sleep for a night or a couple of days or something. And then he tried it. Then he realized he noticed the same effect. And then he took that knowledge back to monk, and a monk kind of refused to acknowledge it. So they stuffed that into fire, and then the aroma of coffee started coming out. And from there, the original coffee happened. That's one story. And another story, they say a guy in Yemen, he's a Sufi guy. He was wandering around, so he saw a bird eating a certain kind of berry, so he tried that, and he noticed, a substantial amount of energy kicking in. And so, yeah, that's another story, right? And then the coffee being introduced in Europe in the early 16th century. That's everyone knows it. Then Spanish introduced coffee to Latin America, Portuguese to Brazil, and but what happened was that when the coffee was brought to Europe, right, there was a prejudice that came with coffee, right? In Middle East, most because of religion, people consider coffee as like a devil's drink, right? Because, back in days, there was a lot of religious prejudice against the coffee. And then when it came to Europe, the Pope has to really baptize it just to make it, to convince the people that it's not a Satan drink, it's not a devil's drink, right? So that's an interesting history. If you want, you can read about it. There are a lot of history predates back, in Europe. So it would be interesting history. So I'm not going to talk about that today because of shortage of time, right? Now, most of us think coffee beans all taste alike, right? What's the difference? It's just a coffee bean, right? I mean, all we know about cappuccino and kind of stuff, but you were surprised to know it's not the case. Coffee beans are different. I'm going to talk about the four main kinds of coffee beans, which is available in the world. So types of coffee beans, right? Number one is Arabica, then Robusta, then Liberica, then Excelsa, right? So the top one, coffee bean, Arabica, right? It's usually is a coffee bean which associated with a low caffeine, and it's smoother in taste, right? And it constitutes of 80% of the coffee in the world, right? So Arabica constitutes for 80% of the coffee production in the world. So this is the most consumed coffee bean in the world, in other words. Robusta, right? This type of coffee, it contains more caffeine than other types, and it has pretty much strong taste, right? And it's second to Arabica, right? And then we have Liberica, which is low yield type of coffee compared to Robusta and Arabica. And Excelsa is a kind of Liberica, but many people will argue that it's not the case. So yeah, these are the main types of coffee beans. So as I said, if you're going to coffee place, right, and then or cafe or even pub, they serve coffee as well. You're drinking a coffee, more likely it will be produced from Arabica coffee beans because that's what it's most of the places it sells, right? Cool. Okay, now let's talk about the health benefits of the coffee, right? Which sounds exciting, right? Improve energy level, right? Because coffee contains caffeine, and caffeine does something in your brain, and it charges up your body, and I use coffee as a pre-workout drink, so it actually, energizes me. I don't take pre-workout supplement. So instead I take coffee with a protein drink, so I mix it together, and that works for me as a pre-workout. And I drink coffee first thing in the morning, so I feel I'm very energized. Some say it's a false alarm it gives your brain, but either way, I mean, there are a lot of studies that's done that which says that caffeine actually charges you up your brain, and it gives you a lot of energy. It's same thing happens when you drink an energy drink like Red Bull or V or whatever it is, right? Because that contains the caffeine in it. So caffeine is the main ingredient which helps with the energy level in the body, right? Okay, so the second point, right, it helps with the burning fat. As I said, it contains caffeine, right, based on my first point, and so it improves the energy level, it improves the metabolism, it actually pushes you to do more workout in the gym. So that kind of plays an important role in burning fat, but burning fat does not mean that just by drinking coffee you will burn fat. A lot of factor comes into picture, right? You need to have a good sleep. You need to watch out your diet. You need to take a regular, you need to work out, right? Just by drinking coffee and then you go out and eating cheeseburger and cheesecake and, drinking like 4 liters of beer and say, look, I'm not losing weight. That's not going to work, right? And you're sleeping, like at midnight and waking up at, random hours, eating junk. No, that won't help. I'm saying if you are someone who has a proper lifestyle, looking after your health well, and the coffee might add an extra advantage to your fat burning capability of in your body, right? Cool. Point number 3. It helps with a good mood, right? Sometimes you are kind of upset and say, look, the weather is crap. I mean, it's raining outside, it's cold, it's snowing, it just pisses me off, blah, 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 yada, yada, right? Okay, why don't you have a cup of coffee? And all of a sudden, you see people who changes, they want to talk about different stuff. There was a lot of studies have done that. There was a study conducted by Harvard in 2011. What they did was that they did experiment on a lot of people, especially females, right? And say what they have noticed that they encouraged them to drink two cups of coffee a day. For after a certain period of time, they said that it's actually elevated their mood and helps with mild depression. I'm not saying about, stronger depression or other stuff. There is no scientific backing to that, but research says that it helps with with a good mood. It just energizes you and, it brings a smile on your face. There are a lot of studies done out there, right? So that's one of the advantages of coffee. But that being said, you need to keep into consideration that if you're someone who often suffers with, bad mood or depression, and then, and you say, oh, look, I'm drinking 3 cups of coffee a day. Let me make it to 7 cups a day. No, that's not what I'm saying, right? I used to drink at one time 7 cups a day. And I went to my doctor for testing my blood pressure, and doctor asked me, okay, well, tell me about your lifestyle. I said, look, I drink 7 cups a day. He said, what? Say that again? I said, 7 cups. He said, are you out of your mind? 7 cups a day? Oh, wow, it tastes great. Yeah, he said, it tastes great, but it makes your life goes down in a greater fashion as well. So, if you're someone who suffers with depression, please consult a doctor, right? I mean, please don't rely on this information saying, oh, yeah, this guy is saying, drink a lot of coffee, it helps with the good. There is a study associated with good mood, which says that if you're someone who is upset because of whatever reason, so it may elevate your mood. I'm not saying that it will 100%. I'm saying it may, right? Cool. Right. So another thing is that it's high in antioxidants, right? Antioxidants is very good for your body. It's good for your cells. It does a lot of great functions in your body, right? I'm not gonna go into the very detailed biology of a human body, right? What I'm trying to say is that coffee is very good for your body because it's high in antioxidants if you consume in a normal amount, right? It's not like consuming 8 to 10 cups a day and expecting positive result. That may backfire, right? There is a study done in Netherlands and as well as in Austria, which they say that if you consume too many coffees, it may interfere with your blood pressure. It may elevate to some extent, right? So keep that into consideration before you start consuming 6 to 7 to 8 to 9 cups of coffee a day. I mean, it may not be good for our health, right? Everything consumed in a limit has a positive, effect. And whereas if you start abusing stuff, it might backfire eventually, right? So yeah, that's and then if you're someone who wanted to drink coffee after this, yeah, might as well, right? I like cappuccino more. I'm not a fan of black coffee. I'd like to drink coffee with milk. Some people say, oh yeah, you drink coffee with milk. Yeah, everyone has different choice, right? I like, I'm not drinking American latte, black coffee. It's okay. I mean, I prefer coffee over tea. I mean, I don't like tea. I don't drink tea whatsoever. I hate it. I don't like the taste. So some people out there, oh yeah, you hate tea. Oh, everyone has different choice, right? Cool. Right. So I just wanted to share one last thing before I finish today's podcast or lecture, whatever you say. I was talking to one of my mates, right, recently, a couple of days ago. And I said, look, mate, let's partner with Elon Musk. He said, what? I said, let's partner with Elon Musk. He said, why? I said, look, Elon Musk has been telling to the world, we're going to take humans to Mars, right? No one has ever been there. We only send the rover yet. But he sold the idea to the rest of the world that we're going to take humans to Mars. So why can't we sell the idea to the rest of the world that we're going to grow a coffee plantation in Mars? And you're like, that the soil atmosphere is not good for growing. I said, yeah, that's what we need to take scientists to figure out if it's possible, because no one has sent anyone to Mars yet. So obviously, if you're going to start colonizing people in Mars, right? Obviously, they want coffee, they want beers, right? So, what can't be us the first one to do it? And the thing is, the 99.99 people won't go for it. That's why there is no competition, right? And so if you're someone out there who's looking for a great business idea, there you are. I gave you just one good idea. It will make you trillionaire, not billionaire, trillionaire. And you will experience a lot of naysayers. You can't do this. Trust me, mom. Trust me, mates. Naysayers, they're not even trillionaire. They're not even billionaires. They're not even millionaires to begin with. They just say nay and no to everything. So ignore them, right? If you're someone who likes to go for it, go for it. It's better to fail rather than regretting something in your graveyard. I should have done that, but for whatever, yada yada yada. Right? So yeah, this is one of the crazy ideas. I was saying to mom, right, coffee, because we love coffee a lot and I love beer. I said, all right, coffee business. Let's partner with Elon Musk. Coffee business in Mars, right? And who knows, we might experience visitors from other galaxies, right? Oh yeah, this guy's setting up in Mars. It sounds science fiction, right? But you never know. I'm positive that in 30 years we will have a human mission to Mars, and we will start seeing more people visiting Mars. So they might need coffee, right? Why take it from Earth? Why not bring from Mars to Earth and sell it in Earth, right? It's Martian coffee, right? There you are. Right. So that's all I wanted to talk, and I thought that's kind of hilarious and funny. Yeah, I just wanted to brighten up your weekend. So with that, funny discussion. Right, and I'm not actually going to do that, but yeah, it just something came in my mind because when I was going for a run the other day. So yeah, sometimes you never know what 5 a.m. run does to your brain. All right. That being said, I just wanted to say thank you so much for your time today. Thank you so much for your patience. So we're gonna have one more topic, then I'm gonna move to another topic. We're gonna do a maths week. So what I'm trying to do, I'm gonna start with the basic mathematics, right? Then we're gonna do to a little bit advanced. We're gonna write everything. I bought this Wacom tablet so that I can write. So I can, demonstrate rather than showing just slides, right? It's get boring. I can't do mathematics just by showing the slides, right? So, right. Okay. And if you've been hearing some background noise, my apologies again. It's Friday night in New Zealand. So, things can go crazy at times, right? Cool. All right. That being said, greetings and adios from New Zealand. Bye-bye.